intention for a meeting, intention for your day, for life, for working with people, it all matters, okay? Before I facilitate a ceremony, right, before I have an intention, right? A lot of times it's not something I share with the group, and that's why some people come in and some people I release. And the people that come to the circle are the people that resonate with that intention and what I'm trying to create, right? So this is a big container. A lot of big things are gonna happen in the next 6 months, right? But it's no different. Like when I'm going to do a session, then, you know, when I'm gonna go on a trip or something, right? Like I always like to set an intention because I would like to at least have a say in my life of what I would like to see. And then at the same time, like I still remain open, right? Like I don't just focus on that. And the reason why the intention is so important, we're gonna do like a little exercise, okay? So resist, all right? Okay, all right. So put your arm down, right? My intention now is going to be, and this is also to explain energy, okay? We're talking about the 4 levels or the 4 bodies, right? We have the physical, emotional, soul, and spirit, right? Einstein said you cannot fix or solve a problem from the same level from which it was created. Mm-hmm. Most of our issues are usually physical or emotional, right? So we want to go into the soul level because the soul body informs the emotional and the physical body, right? And again, this is the reason why, like, what I'm saying, what's coming out of my mouth, a lot of the stuff is not quite the energy, right? We're trying to transmit through the word what's in the energy field. But the container is really what's reinforming your body, right? For you, sometimes you will come and lay down on my table and, you know, I'm rattling and doing all of that stuff and you feel like, but I could just sit there in my chair and not do anything and you still receive the same thing as when I'm doing all the rattling and all of that stuff. Because it's the energy that is on the field that informs that, okay? Now, energy travels at the speed of light. It's much faster. So physical reality takes a little time to receive that and repattern, right? So that's why a lot of times people say it's slow. It's because it's done energetically, and some people, because it didn't happen right away, they begin to create a belief system like, well, see, it doesn't happen for me. So it's the resistance that you create. When you're in the way, then of course it takes longer, right? And especially when you begin to develop other thought patterns, right? You know, before I even stepped into this path, I used to love Abraham Hicks. And one of the things that I never forgot that she would always say was like, set your intention, or, you know, I forgot what she calls it. You know, like ask for what you want and then go do something that you love. Like her thing was like she would go furniture shopping. Like she wouldn't buy anything, but it would get her out of the way so that she's not obsessing or creating like different patterns, right? So if you're gonna ask for something, then just go do something that brings joy to you, because then you're not in resistance. You're not in your head thinking about things. You're out of the way. And that opens up more avenues for things to show up the way. It's not gonna be just the way you think it's going to happen. A lot of times the way you think is going to happen, it's probably the hardest, longest path for something that you ask to show up to you. So if you think that's the only way, and you anchor that is the only way you're gonna get something, you're way behind the curve. Okay? Just get out of the way. It doesn't matter how it shows up. It doesn't matter if you walk out and you find cash on the ground, or you got a bonus at work, or however it shows up. Who cares? As long as what you ask for shows up, right? So with that being said, so she's resisting, right? And so now my intention is just to disrupt her power, okay? Right? Heather does that when work is happening. So she's not bored. She
I'm
just.
not bored. I yawn.
So now I'm gonna test her strength, right? Okay. So I'm gonna just push her. I'm not even like, I'm hardly even pushing, right? Look at how hard she's trying.
Intention is to keep my power.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. It's very simple, but your intention matters. Right? And the same techniques that we use to heal or create are the same techniques that you can use to harm. Like, energy is no good nor bad. It's really what you do with it. That's why I get questions like, well, how come like there's like bad people that, you know, like everything always works out for them? It has nothing to do with whether they're good or bad. It has to do with how they know how to manipulate or use the energy or direct the energy. That's really all it is. The energy does not care if you're good or a bad person, if you're worthy or unworthy. That's not universal law. You just have to learn how to use the laws towards your favor or to help others. That's really what it is. It comes down to that, right? Now, karma is a different thing. Right? Stuff is going to happen when you continue to abuse power, right? So, but we all play that game, right? So now I'm going to rebuild her. Okay. Now resist. All right, she's strong again. Okay.
Yes.
Now I could do the same thing. I could go outside. I could go home and do it from over there, and it makes no difference. And this is why the remote healings work too. Like, to me, it makes no difference if you're there physically or not. It's the same thing. It makes no difference. Actually, I could get a lot more work done when you're not physically there. Seriously. Thank you.